Good morning to everyone. Welcome to science class. So the learning objectives for today is define matter, differentiate pure substance and mixture, differentiate elements and compound, differentiate homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture, give example of each classifications of matter. So tell something about this picture. So this picture shows the different state of matter. But first, what is matter? So matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. So all matter has its space and also its mass. It can be living things or non-living things, or it can be solid, liquid, or gas, as well as its plasma. So, the different state of matter, meron tayong solid, meron tayong liquid, at meron tayong gas. In solid, as you can see, all of the molecules are being arranged accordingly, and they are tightly arranged and also be compact to each other. So may mga maliliit lang tayong mga spaces between the molecules. So those spaces creating a certain motion or little bit motion or a little bit of kinetic energy for them. How? So, for example, tinap natin yung isang material or solid material like yung lamesa. When we tap it, you feel the vibration, and that vibration is flowing from one molecule to another, okay, or being transferred from one molecule to another, or the energy of that vibration is being transferred from one molecules to another. That's why napapagalaw natin yung isang solid na material. Then they have its definite shape and definite volume. Next, in terms of liquid, this one. So, in terms of liquid, meron silang mga maliliit or konting spaces between the molecule. So, this is why it can follow the shape of its container. Okay, and those spaces or distance between its molecule give them an access to freely move to each other. Then they do not have definite shape, but they have its volume. Then in terms of this gas, so the distance between one molecule to another is very far to each other. That's why they can freely move in a container. They do not have shape, definite shape, but they follow the shape of its container. And lastly, we have plasma. So they have negative charge and positive charges. So as you can see, there is an increasing energy from solid, liquid, gas to plasma. Plasma is the highest energy level because it contains ions, and the positive charge and negative charge are cation and anion, while the solid contains less amount of energy because of the arrangement of the molecules. Okay, so now let's talk about the mixture and pure substance. In terms of mixture, so we have here the example of the mixture. Ang sabi dito, mixture refers to the physical combination of two or more substances in which the identities of the individual substances are being retained. So as you can see, you can determine the different ingredients na meron sa mixture na yan. For example, in halo-halo, you can see the ice cream, you can see the ube, the ice, the milk inside of the glass. Okay? So, nakikita natin sila individually na nakamix together physically, and also nare-retain natin yung shape at hindi nag-mix yung kulay nila or yung characteristic nila in the entire container. Okay? And also in the fruit salad. So, nakikita nyo pa rin yung itlog, nakikita nyo pa rin yung tomatoes, yung mayonnaise, and yung ham, kung meron man dyan. Okay? So, we can separate the egg, we can separate the tomato if you do not want it in your salad. Okay? And that is the characteristic of the mixture. You can physically separate the different ingredient inside the mixture, as well as the oil and water. So you can determine the two phases of matter that involves in that mixture. So we have the water below and the oil at above the water. Okay, then in terms of pure substance, so pure substance is a form of matter that has constant chemical composition and characteristic properties. Okay, so we have salt. So the chemical formula for the salt is sodium chloride or NaCl. Okay, so we cannot we cannot break down the sodium to chloride, or we cannot separate sodium and chlorine element in the salt because they are combined chemically to each other, but nakikita nyo siya as one, as salt lang. So this is an element of gold. So there, the pure gold na tinatawag natin. We also have the diamond, which is composed of carbon, and also we have the sugar. So sugar here, meron siyang 66H12O6, wherein meron siyang carbon element, meron siyang hydrogen element, at meron siyang oxygen element. You cannot able to separate them because if you separate oxygen, then iba na yung magiging element. Hindi na po siya magiging sugar. Okay? So they have its uniform characteristic, physically uniform characteristic, but chemically they are combined with different substance. Okay, let's differentiate pure substance and mixture. In terms of how many substance are being mixed in pure substance, so how many substance you can see physically is pure substance is single substance only, while mixture is two or more substance. You can able to see the different phases of matter. It can be solid, liquid, or gas in the mixture. And in pure substance, nakikita nyo lang siya as one. So we can tell that it is a uniform characteristic. In terms of separation, okay, pure substance cannot be separated by physical means, but mixture can be separated through physical means. For example, we can separate the oil and water in terms of ang tawag dito, in terms of putting certain nasa na to. Okay, so mixture can be separated through physical means. So for example, we have soil and the water. So you can separate the water into soil by means of filtration. And also in the halo-halo, you can separate the ice cream, yung ice, kapag hindi pa tunaw, yung mga other ingredients niya, you can separate them through by picking. Okay? Unlike sa pure substance, you cannot separate them by just physical method. You can separate the pure substance by means of chemical reaction. Next, properties. Okay, pure substance is definite. So when we talk about definite, iisa lang yung properties nila. Although magkaiba silang element, pero pag tinignan nyo sila as one, ay iisa lang yung properties nila. For example, we have the salt. Salt, diba? It composed of sodium and chloride. Pero pag tinignan nyo siya as one, tinikman nyo siya as one, hindi nyo naman malalasahan si sodium at hindi nyo naman malalasahan si chlorine. But ang malalasahan natin ay maalat, which is the salt itself. Next, we have mixture indefinite. So, why indefinite? Because kapag, for example, sa halo-halo, diba? Iba-iba yung lasa niya. Iba-iba yung characteristic niya, iba-iba yung shape ng mga prutas, iba-iba yung kulay ng mga prutas. And also, they have different taste, they have different texture in your mouth when you are eating that halo-halo. Okay? Next, in terms of pure substance, kaya nga sinabing, in terms of purity, kaya sinabi yung pure dahil pure substance nga yan. Wala silang ibang halong chemicals. Okay? So, an example of pure substance is yung mga element itself. Then, in terms of mixture is impure because there are a lot of many properties or different properties of the substance being mixed together physically. Next, chemical properties. Pure substance is constant lang ang kanilang chemical property. Then, ang mixture is vary, pabago-bago kasi iba't iba nga yung ingredients or substances na meron sa isang mixture. Okay, another differences between pure substance and mixture is mixture can dissolve completely. The answer is no, but there are certain mixture that can dissolve completely. Example, the solution. In pure substance naman, yes, so they are actually mixing each other very well, kaya nakikita ninyo na uniform ang characteristic nila. In mixture po, in terms of appearance, not uniform kasi you can able to determine the shape and the color as well as the taste of the different substances being mixed um, in a certain bowl. Okay, for example, yung halo-halo, yung salad nga na pinakita ko. Then in terms of pure substance, they are uniform in appearance. Okay, next we have can be separated by physical means, that is mixture, yes. Pure substance, no. You can able to separate them through chemical means. And composition, mix with any amount. So mixture, you can able to mix them with any amount. Why? Kasi if for example, yung halo-halo, if you want it too much, if you want it na to add more sugar, then you can add it more, okay, without any chemical reaction involved. But in terms of pure substance, you need to mix them with fixed amount. So for example, meron tayong tinatawag, for example, di ba kanina yung sinabi ko, yung sa sugar, meron siyang composition na C6H12O6. So yung mga number na yan, it refers to the atomic number of atoms na meron ang carbon, number of atoms na meron ng hydrogen, at number ng atoms na meron si oxygen. If mabago yung number of atoms na yan, for example, gawin nating C6H12O5, okay, so ito po ay hindi na siya sugar. Okay? So, ibang compound na ang mangyayari. Kaya nga dapat, we need to able to have a mix with fixed amount. Okay? Fixed amount po lagi ang meron sa mga pure substance. Then, example of mixture is homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. In terms of pure substance, its example is elements and compound. And their similarities is they are both matter. Okay, so now let's try your own understanding. So direction, tell if the following picture is a pure substance or mixture. So number 1, that is cake. So you can pause your video in order to answer this one, and to find the answer, just play the video. Okay, so number 1 is, the answer is mixture. Why? You can able to determine the nuts, the icing, and also the bread by just looking the cake. So that's why it is mixture. You can able to separate the icing, the bread, and the nuts by picking or whatsoever. Okay, so yes, number 2, we have 18 karat gold, 276 gram of necklace. Okay, so is it mixture or pure substance? Okay, correct. This is also an example of mixture. Why mixture? Because 18 karat gold is composed of 75% gold, 12.5 copper, and 12.5 silver. So these are just physically mixing to each other. Okay, so this 18 karat gold is not a pure substance. The pure substance is 24 karat gold, and 24 karat gold is equal to 99.9% of gold. Always remember this. So pag bumaba yan into 18, 14, 10 karat gold, mixture na po ang tawag sa kanila. So ma'am, bakit po kailangan nating mag-mix ng other metals in terms of this jewelry? Kasi po yung 24 karat gold is very brittle, malambot siya, at masyado siyang nade-deform. At hindi siya pwedeng pang mga jewelries. Kasi alam naman natin, ginagamit natin yan sa pang araw-araw, baka ma-deform pag mga kumilos-kilos tayo. Kaya lagi ginagamitan nila ng hinahaluan nila ng mga other metals, which is copper or silver, or some of them is platinum or whatsoever. Okay, so next one we have the coconut oil, and that is pure substance. Okay, and we have the chemical formula for structural formula for substances. And lastly, we have the silver, that is pure substance. Okay, so meron tayong, as you can see in the picture, meron po yung 999.0. That is pure substance. Ma'am, ano po yung tinitinda sa market? Is it silver ba talaga? 'Di ba merong sinasabi yung mga nagbebenta ng jewelries na 925 silver. Okay? So those 925 silver ring or silver necklace or silver earrings, they are said to be as mixture. Okay, they are not pure silver because the other percent here, i-minus nyo lang yung 999.0 sa 925, and yung percentage nun or makukuha nyo doon ay other metals na po ang halo nun. It can be copper also or other metals. Okay? So, I hope naintindihan na natin yung mixture and pure substance. Okay, another example is the quartz. So, quartz is said to be a substance or pure substance which is the combination of the silicon dioxide. So, we have the silicon element and oxygen element. Okay po, so that is naturally occurring stones. Okay, so hindi yan man-made na tinatawag natin. Next, we have 6 soy sauce, toyo. Okay, so toyo or yung soy sauce natin is a form of mixture because it forms of salt, spices, and several flavoring which are not chemically joined to each other. So pag yung soy sauce, mapapansin niyo at the bottom of the container, may mga makikita kayong mga small particles o kaya naman mga black na naiiwan sa baba. Okay, so now, again, we have on top of our diagram, we have matter, wherein matter is anything that occupies space and that has mass. It can be solid, liquid, or gas, and it can also be non-living things or living things. So matter is divided into two. That is correct. We have mixture and pure substance. And mixture is divided into two. We have homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Now, let's determine the example of homogeneous mixture, which is the solution, as well as the heterogeneous, which is colloid, and lastly, the suspension po to ha. Suspension. Kasi colloid yata yung nalagay ko dyan. And in terms, yan po. So, let us know, we have here a game. Let us tell the food that you can make with the following ingredients. So, we have coffee plus sugar plus water. That is, coffee. So, we have the jelly powder plus sugar plus water. That is gelatin or gulaman itself. Next, we have meat plus yung gulay and sinigang mix, okay, and water, that is sinigang, and lastly we have oil plus water, that is oil and water. So, oil and water. Okay, so the example that we have, yung sinigang, yung oil and water, yung gelatin, and coffee, they are example of mixture. Now we need to determine which of them are example of homogeneous mixture and example of heterogeneous mixture. Okay po. So next, we also have the egg plus milk, all-purpose cream, and also sugar, that is leche plan. And we have nido plus sugar plus water, that is milk. So let's determine if where is the homogeneous mixture and what is heterogeneous mixture in the picture that we have a while ago. So first, let's define homogeneous mixture. So in terms of homogeneous mixture, it is a mixture of two or more chemical substances or elements or compound where different components cannot be visually distinguished. So in terms of homogeneous mixture daw po, when you add two or more substances, yung result nun is makikita nyo na lang siya as single substances. So for example, we have sugar. Okay? So we have sugar and water. So we have two substances in sugar. We have two substances. We have first first substance, we have water, and the second substance, we have sugar. So when we add together and stir them, they combine physically to each other and they form sugar solution. So here in sugar solution, you cannot able to distinguish where is the sugar because the sugar dissolve completely in the water. Okay? So, kaya wala na kayong nakikitang solid material or solid part ng sugar kasi nga po na-dissolve na siya completely inside the matter. Thus, ang makikita nyo na lang is single phase of matter. Okay? Or single substance na lang po ang makikita ninyo. That's why when we talk about homo, meaning single, or we can say that it is uniformly appearance. Okay po. We can also say that it is in a uniform appearance. So when you combine solute and solvent, or water, which is solvent, and sugar, which is solute, when you combine them together, you will see the result as in uniformly appearance. Ganun din naman sa ating orange juice and the water. So when you just put the juice on the water, makikita nyo yung pinaka-orange. So mapapaisip kayo if it is pure orange juice or being mixed with water. Next one, we have the gelatin itself. So the gelatin powder plus the water. Okay, so it hardens and it forms gelatin. And also we have chocolate. So meron tayong cacao, meron tayong sugar, meron tayong milk. Then nakita ninyo, ayan, they are physically mixed together. So that's why ang makikita na lang natin is yung pure chocolate, 'di ba? Then meron din tayong air. So sa air meron tayong iba't ibang gases. We have oxygen gas, nitrogen gas, carbon dioxide gas, and other pollutants, yung mga small particles. However, we cannot able to distinguish kung nasan si oxygen, kung nasan ang nitrogen, at kung nasan ang carbon dioxide. We just distinguish na there is an air, or we can feel that there is an air. Because homogeneous mixture is a type of mixture that uniformly appears to our eyes. Okay, so next is the example of homogeneous mixture is the solution, wherein solution are homogeneous mixture containing one or more solute in a solvent. The solvent that make up most of the solution, whereas a solute and the substance is dissolved inside the solvent. So in solution, we have two substances. Again, we have solvent and solute. Always remember, so the universal solvent that we have is water. Okay? So bakit water? Kasi madaming pwedeng ma-dissolve sa water. Kaya siya tinawag na universal solvent. And also the solute. So our solvent and our solute can be either solid, liquid, or gas. Always remember that it can be either solid, liquid, or gas. And also when we talk about solvent, this is greater amount, contains greater amount in a container, and solute is lesser amount inside the container. Okay, so here sa example natin dito, mas madami ang water at mas konti naman ang sugar. Okay, so si solvent ang tumutunaw, tinutunaw niya si solute. Always remember that. So for example, meron tayong kanina sa 18 karat gold, meron tayong 75% of gold at meron din tayong sabihin natin 25% of silver. Okay? So which of the two is the solvent and the solute? So 75% gold is what we so-called the solvent kasi siya yung madami. And 25% of silver, that is solute. Bakit sinabing solute yung 25%? Kasi siya yung mas less o kokonti. So ibig sabihin si silver natunaw kay gold. Kaya nakikita lang natin yung pinaka-gold na structure ng gold. Okay? Kala natin pure gold siya, pero meron pala siyang halong silver. Okay, so that is an example of solution. So again, solution can be either solid, liquid, or gas. Solvent and solution can either be solid, liquid, or gas. Okay po. So next one is the heterogeneous mixture. So in heterogeneous mixture, it is a mixture of two or more chemical substances. Okay, it can be element or compound where the different components can be visually distinguished. So yung lahat daw ng components na nasa mixture is nakikita natin are visually distinguished in terms of heterogeneous mixture. For example, we have the hamburger. Okay, nakakagutom. So you can able to see the burger, yung liquid form which is mayonnaise and yung cheese, yung ating solid na tomato, onion, and bread as well as the lettuce. So when we talk about heterogeneous mixture, you can able to distinguish the different phases of matter within a certain mixture. Okay, so dito sa bread meron tayong solid and also liquid, which is the mayonnaise, the liquid part, medyo liquid part, and yung solid part is yung bread and other ingredients. Okay, so in terms of this medicine, some of the medicine kasi is considered as heterogeneous mixture. Why? Because some of the medicine may mga sandy particles sila nagse-settle down under the at the bottom of a certain container. Okay, so they need, or your parents need to shake them first para mag-distribute evenly inside the container and maging effective yung gamot na yun. So that's why some of the medicine is considered as heterogeneous mixture. Then also, yung ating mga paint, yung ating mga mayonnaise, yung icing, yung milk, yung fog, they are considered as also heterogeneous mixture. Kala lang natin they are solution kasi you can see them as one, but they are example of heterogeneous mixture kasi nga po their particle is mixing to each other. Okay, their smaller particle are mixing to each other to form such characteristic na kagaya ng mga yan. Then lastly, we have this one. Okay, you can able to see the water as well as the soil at the bottom of it. So meron tayong two types of heterogeneous mixture. The first one is the suspension. So from the word suspension, there are suspended material at the bottom of the container. So those suspended material at the bottom of the container are denser o mas mabigat ang kanilang mass at ang kanilang volume compare sa mga nasa taas. Okay, substances na nasa taas po ng kanilang nasa taas ng container. Okay, so we have the soil itself nasa baba. Okay, and also yung water na nasa baba. Okay, so mas denser sila compared dito sa mga nakalutang na substances. So this is why ang tawag dito, some of the material or not all the material can be mixed together. Okay, because they have different density to each other. So next, we also have yung sinigang kapag mga nagluluto tayo. Yung mga puta-putahin na niluluto natin na may mga sabaw-sabaw o may mga ang tawag dito, sauce. Ayun. So when we separate, we can able to separate the different ingredients na nandun. So for example, sa sinigang, we can able to separate the soup in the dun sa laman. For example, yung veggies as well as the meat. Okay, that's why they are example of suspension. So next, we also have the colloid. So ang sabi dito, colloid is a mixture that has particle ranging between 1 and 100 1,000 nanometer in diameter, yet are still able to remain evenly distributed through the solution. So dito merong medyo may pagkakaparehas ng itsura ang colloid tsaka ang solution kasi. So yung in terms of colloid, all the particles are evenly distributed within the substances or the container. An example of colloid is yung mga emulsion like yung mayonnaise, yung icing, ayan yung foam, for example yung mga ano natin, fire extinguisher, meron siyang nilalabas na foam, mga aerosols, mga gas, mga pabango, ayan, okay. Then also yung soles, colored suspension with solid particle in a liquid. So for example yung example natin yung sa taho, yung pinaka white, okay, yung pinaka white one, that is yung sole na tinatawag natin, parang lungaw. And also yung milk, they are considered as colloid. And one of the properties of the colloid is yung Tyndall effect. Okay, the light beam ay kayang-kayang makita sa colloid as well as sa suspension. Then, let's differentiate homogeneous mixture to heterogeneous mixture. Okay, so in terms of dissolving process, so homogeneous mixture dissolve completely, yes or no? The answer is yes, because we can able to see single phase of matter na lang or uniform appearance na lang kapag na-mix na natin yung two substances. In terms of heterogeneous mixture, no, they do not mix or they do not dissolve completely to each other. Okay, in terms of appearance, homogeneous mixture is uniformly in appearance and heterogeneous mixture is not uniform. Okay, because we can able to determine the substances within that mixture. Then in terms of homogeneous mixture, ang nakikita na lang natin is na phase is one phase of matter, samantalang ang heterogeneous mixture is two or more phases of matter, okay, that we can able to distinguish within a certain mixture. Next, in homogeneous mixture can be separated, yes or no? The homogeneous mixture is no or partially no and partially yes, kasi we can able to separate the salt to water by evaporating it or by simple distillation. And heterogeneous mixture, yes. Example of homogeneous mixture is solution, and example of heterogeneous mixture is colloid and suspension. Their similarities is they are both matter and they are both mixture and they both composed of substances. Yes po, each homogeneous mixture and mixture are composed of substances. Okay, so let's review. At the top of the graph, we have the matter, and that is divided into two. We have mixture and pure substance. Then, the mixture is divided into two. We have homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. In terms of homogeneous mixture, they have its example. We have solution. Heterogeneous mixture is colloid and the suspension. Now, let's talk about pure substance. The two division of pure substance is elements and compound. And elements and compound. Then, let's talk about the element first. So, what is element? In terms of the element, so meron tayong tinatawag na periodic table of element. So as you can see, meron tayong atomic number 1 from the upper left of the element, meron tayong symbol, meron tayong name, at meron tayong atomic mass. So these are example of these are the elements. Okay, so meron tayong 1 hanggang 103 dito sa picture, pero if I'm not mistaken, nasa 118 or 113 plus po ang elements na meron tayo. So those elements, they have different characteristic to each other. Some of them has its different some of them have the same characteristic. That's why inside the element may mga group dyan na tinatawag natin. Okay? They have its group, pero syempre parang tao yan na kahit may group tayo, meron tayong iba't ibang characteristic. Ganon din sa element. They are belong in a certain group but they have different characteristic. Okay, so element is a chemical substances that is made up of a particular kind of atom or one single atom and hence cannot be broken down or transformed by chemical reaction into different element. So this element is fixed. Hydrogen, fixed na yan na hydrogen. Oxygen, fixed na yan na oxygen. And they cannot be able to break down into small pieces. So, inside the elements, meron tayong tinatawag na atom. And atom is the basic unit of matter itself. Okay? So, we have Dmitry Mendeleev or Dr. Dmitry Mendeleev. So, he is the one who arranged the entire elements in the periodic table. So, may mga na-discover siyang element like the aluminum, indium, silicon, and tin. However, hindi siya lahat nagpangalan sa element na iyon. Ang ginawa lang niya, in-arrange lang niya lahat ng mga periodic table of element in terms of atomic number, in terms of groups, in terms of periods. Okay? That's why siya yung naging na-credit as the one who actually made the periodic table of elements. So, hindi na natin to pag-uusapan. Okay? So, we have, what are the things that we can able to see inside the periodic table of elements? So, makikita natin yung mga symbol of names, period, group, family, atomic number. Then, in terms of elements, ang pagkakasulat sa kanila or symbol of each element, kapag ang symbol ng isang element is one letter, then it should be written in capital letter only. Pero kung dalawa ang letter ng symbol ng element na yon, the first letter will be capital and the second letter is small letter. Okay, so pag kinapital nyo parehas, mali na kayo agad doon. So next is the element is being arranged according to atomic number, period, and group. Always remember this. Okay, so these are the periodic table of the element. Okay, here in the periodic table of element, you can determine the atomic number, the element symbol, and the element's name, and also the atomic weight or atomic mass. And may nakikita kayo dyang mga grupo-grupo. So, meron tayong tinatawag na alkali metal, meron tayong alkali earth metal, lactanide, actinide, transition metal, unknown properties, pros, transition, and metalloids. Pero, kahit iba-iba yan, they are all metals. Okay? Then, meron tayong metalloid. In other non-metal naman, meron tayong non-metals, meron tayong halogen, and noble gas. So, halogen, noble gas, and non-metals are all non-metal itself. Okay? So, mapapansin niyo meron din tayong mga period at meron tayong group. In terms of group po, meron tayong group 1 hanggang 18, this one. Okay? So, nakagroup po sila according to its oxidation state and valence electron. Okay? Then, meron tayong period. So, sa period natin, meron tayong period 1 hanggang period 7. So, in determining the period of its element, so, ang titingnan lang natin pa horizontal. For example, we have atomic number 40. Atomic number 40, the name of the element is zirconium. Then, zirconium belongs to period 5 kasi nakatapat siya sa 5 and they belongs to group 4. Okay? So, zirconium belongs to group 4 dahil nakatapat siya sa group 4 at period 5 dahil nakatapat siya sa period 5. Ganun lang mag-determine kung anong group at period siya kasama. Next, we have atomic number 46, that is palladium. Okay, palladium po. So, palladium belongs to the group 10. Okay, tingin lang kayo vertically, group 10. And it is also belongs to period 5. Okay po. So, ayan, tingnan lang natin yung horizontal, period 5. So, ganun din si lead. Okay? Si lead, meron tayong atomic 82, number 82. Meron tayong symbol PB and the name it's lead. Lead belongs to group number 14 dahil nakatapat siya sa 14. Vertically, look vertically. Then, siya ay belongs to period 6. Okay, dahil nakatapat siya sa period 6. So, I hope naintindihan yung pag-determine ng period, group, and atomic number. Okay, here are some questions. So, sabi dito, how element is being arranged in periodic table in terms of the following atomic number. Okay, in terms of atomic number, always remember the atomic number increases from left to right. So, from 1, that is hydrogen, or from atomic number 1, nasa na ba yun? Tingnan natin. From atomic number 1, which is hydrogen, left side siya ha, nag-increase siya ng atomic number 2, which is yung helium. And also, from atomic number 3, which is lithium, nag-increase siya ng atomic number hanggang 10, which is neon. So, lagi ang increase natin ng atomic number is from left to right. Okay po. So, ganun lang naman in terms of the atomic number. So, in terms of period naman, they have shared the same highest electron energy level. Mapag-aaralan nyo yan when you are kapag kayo naging grade 8, grade 9, or 10. Then, in terms of group, they have the same shared the valence electron, or some of them are oxidation state. Okay, so sabi dito, which element are likely to lose electron? Okay, so elements that are likely to lose electron is metals. Okay, why metal? Because metal is always giving electron itself. Okay, always remember, metal are always positive charge. Okay, pag tinutukoy natin yung charge na meron sila, or ions na meron sila. So, metal are always positive charge. They are called cations. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na positive charge? Kasi mas madami yung kanyang proton compare sa electron. Again, in a single element po kasi meron tayong atom. Okay? So, for example, meron tayong sodium. So, sodium na to meron niyang atom. Okay? Sa loob ng atom, meron tayong proton tsaka neutron. Sa labas ng atom, meron tayong electron. Okay? Sa orbit, meron tayong electron po. So, itong electron na to na nasa labas, pwede yung mapunta sa ibang element. Okay? Pwede yung mag-transfer sa ibang element. Pag nabawasan yung electron at mas dumami yung number ng hindi na equal yung number ng proton niya sa number of electron, it is considered as positive charge. Okay po? Kasi nga, mas madami yung number of proton kasi nabawasan siya ng electron. So, ganun lang siya kaya ganun lang nagiging positive charge at nagiging negative charge yung isang element. Okay? So, element, lahat ng mga non-metal naman, they gain electron. So, pag nag-gain sila ng electron, dadami yung kanilang electron. So, that's why they are called as anion kasi mas madami ang kanilang electron itself. So, they are also negative charge. Which element are likely to gain electron? So, that is non-metals. Okay, they gain electron and become negative charge. They are called anions. Which type of element are likely to have no electrical charge? Pag no electrical charge, the number of proton as well as the electron is the same or equal. Okay, so we have different types of the element. First is metal, next metalloid, and second is non-metal. Let's discuss the metal. What are the characteristics of the metal? So always remember, metal are metallic luster. When we talk about metallic luster, they are shiny. Literal na nagniningning kapag nasisinaga ng araw. Okay po, makintab. So ayan yung mga characteristic ng metal. Yung metallic luster or elasticity. Tinatawag natin siyang elasticity. Okay? So next we have high electrical and thermal conductivity. So when we talk about conductivity, all metal can absorb electricity or can attract electricity, and they can attract thermal or heat energy. Kaya nga kapag nagluluto kayo tapos yung sandok ninyo na metal, nilagay ninyo doon sa sabihin nating kawali na pinapainitan ninyo, you can feel the heat. Okay, na transfer from doon sa kawali na meron kayo papunta doon sa sandok na metal na meron kayo. Okay, and also electricity. So lahat ng mga electrical installations sa loob ng bahay ninyo, they are composed of metal. So the example of metal, the metal inside of those wire is what we so-called copper. So kinoconnect niyang copper wire yung electricity from the source, so sa planta, papunta dito sa bahay natin at papunta sa mga appliances na meron tayo. Then, they are usually solid. So, all metals are solid. Matitigas po sila. But, meron tayong isang uri ng metal that is liquid, which is mercury. So, they are ductile. Usually ductile. So, when we talk about ductile or ductility, okay, so ductility is the ability of metal that can drawn into wire. So, all of the metals or some of the metals can make or can turn into wires. For example, yung GI wire o yung tinatawag nating alambre. Okay? Alambre, in other term ng alambre, GI wire or galvanized iron wire na tinatawag natin. Yung copper wire natin, di ba? Nagiging wire or maliliit. So, lahat ng uri ng metal, it can be made into wires. Ganun din sa mga silver at gold na meron tayo, di ba? Parang mga wire yung mga chain na meron sila. Okay? Next, we have malleable. So, when we talk about malleable is malleability. The ability of metal that can be hammered into thin sheets. That's why yung mga jewelries natin and other metals can form into other in other shape, in the form of different shape because of the malleable ability. Okay, they have high melting point, hindi sila basta-basta natutunaw. Okay, kailangan mo na ng napakataas na temperatura. And also, they lose electron and they have low ionization energy. Okay, next one we have metalloid. So, from the word metalloid, that is semi-metal. So, some of the characteristic of non-metal and some of the characteristic of metal are joined together to form metalloid. And we have non-metal. So, lahat ng non-metal is kabaliktaran yan ng metal. So, they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Mampat po yung hydrogen. They are, sabi nyo, non-metal siya, pero sa water ay, siya, ang tawag dito, kayang mag-conduct ng electricity. Kasi po, ang hydrogen natin or ang water natin is polar. They can absorb a lot of substances. Okay? That's why they can conduct electricity itself. So, hindi ko naman sinasabi non-metal, wala na silang kakayahan na mag-conduct ng electricity. Meron pa rin po. Okay, they can able to conduct heat and electricity, but hindi masyadong malakas yung paghigop nila ng electricity and heat. Then, often liquid and gaseous in state at room temperature po ang ating non-metal. They are not metallic, hindi po sila shiny, at they gain electrons and high ionization energy. Okay, let's talk about compound naman po. Let's talk about compound. So, what is compound? Ang sabi dito, compound is chemical substances that is composed of particular set of molecules or ions that are chemically bonded. So, two or more elements are combined into one substances through a chemical reaction, such as water, and form a chemical compound. All compounds are substances, but not all substances are compound. Okay, so we have the compound. So, as you can see, sabi dyan, compound are combination of two or more elements. two or more elements or two or more different atom and or two or more of the same atom joins together. So example ng compound natin na lagi natin ginagamit sa bahay, we have water. Water is an example of compound. It is composed of two atom of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen gas. So hydrogen is an element, oxygen is also another element. When they join together, it forms water. Ganun din yung ammonia, meron tayong element na nitrogen at tatlong atom ng hydrogen itself. So it forms ammonia when combined to each other. Okay? So ang sodium na lagi nating kinakain araw-araw, hinahalo sa ating pagkain, they are composed of sodium and chlorine. Okay? At tawag sa kanya, sodium chloride. At ganun din sa may mga sweet tooth, we have the carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen gases. Okay po? Oxygen. Okay? So, meron tayong 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen, and 6 oxygen within the sugar. Okay. So, these are the compound. So, nag-join sila. They have different element, but they are combining to each other in the form of chemical bonds. Okay, but we can see them as one. So, meron tayong tinatawag na organic compound. So, pag sinabi natin organic compound, any of a large class of chemical compound which one or more atom of carbon are covalently linked to atom of the element, mostly hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. So, when we talk about organic compound, they are a compound which have a carbon atom and being linked with hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. So, usually, itong organic compound is makikita to lahat sa mga living things. Okay? So, yung mga tissue natin, yung mga DNA natin, they are composed of organic compounds. Okay? And also, yung methane, yung ethanol, yung alcohol na ginagamit natin, they are composed of organic compound. Yung sugar, mga kinakain natin, they are also composed of organic compound. Okay po. So, next, we also have inorganic compound. So, in terms of inorganic compound, these are the substances that do not contain carbon and hydrogen. Okay? A great many inorganic compound do contain hydrogen atoms. So, some of the inorganic compound do not contain carbon and hydrogen element, such as yung table salt. Diba? We have the sodium chloride, ang chemical formula ng table salt, yung quartz. Okay, silicon dioxide, ang kanyang chemical structure, yung hydrochloric acid, meron siyang hydrogen but wala siyang wala siyang carbon, wala siyang oxygen. Carbon dioxide naman, CO2. Okay? So, wala naman ding hydrogen gas. So, ganun po ang inorganic compound. Usually, ang inorganic compound are the ionic compound na tinatawag natin. Okay, na mapag-aaralan nyo as time goes by. Then, ang organic compound naman is binubuo ng covalent compounds. So, these are all the example of compound na meron tayo sa bahay natin. So, we have water, glucose, alcohol, salt, and nasa kabila niya is yung kanyang chemical structure or chemical compound. Chemical formula, sorry. Okay, so let's differentiate element to compound. So first, element can be broken down, yes or no? The answer is no. Okay, while compound, yes. Compound can be broken down into other substances in terms of the chemical reaction. Okay, but they cannot be broken down, but they just transfer from one form to another, yung compound. Next, in terms of appearance, element is not uniform. Why? Because each of the element is different to each other. For example, yung element na gold sa element na silver, ang element na gold is yellowish. Ang element ng silver is white or silver, yung kulay, di ba? So, compound naman, uniform in appearance. So, when chemically mix yung ating mga elements, makikita lang natin sila as one, such as yung sugar. Diba? Meron siyang element na carbon, meron siyang element na hydrogen, meron siyang element na oxygen, but you can able to see them as one, as sugar. Hindi nyo makikita yung carbon, hindi nyo makikita yung hydrogen, at hindi nyo makikita yung oxygen. Okay? So, can be a separated element? No. Compound? Yes, can be separated through chemical means. Composition? Usually element contains one atom, but compound contains two or more atoms joined together to make a single compound. So that two or more atom, it can be same atom, two or more same atom, or two or more different atoms. Example niyan is carbon element, and example ng compound is carbon dioxide. They are both matter and they are both pure substance. Question? I hope you do not have any question for the topic that we have. Okay po. So, naayos na po ayan. So, kung wala ng question, I have here the quotation itself. So, difference is an accident of birth, and it should therefore never be the source of hatred. And lastly, we may have different religion, different language, different color, skin, but we are belong to one human race. So, like matter, they have different characteristic, they have different forms, different structure, different color, different shapes, but they are considered as all as matter. And tayo as human, we have different colors, different sizes of foot. We have different shape of mouth, different shape of nose. We also have different hair color or hair structure, and also we have different attitude, different religion, and color of the skin. However, sabi nga kanina sa quotation, it should not be the source of hatred or the source of bullying inside the class, because bullying is a crime. Okay, always remember that bullying is a crime, not just in human eye but also in an eye of the God. So, kapag inasar ninyo yung kasama ninyo, okay, sinumpa ninyo yung kasama ninyo sa buhay, kaklase ninyo, minura ninyo, or whatsoever, inasar-asal nyo yan, parang inaasar nyo na rin yung Diyos. Okay? So, always remember, respect their differences. Okay? So, kaya nga, mayroon tayong differences, okay, sa isa't isa. Kasi mahirap naman kung si Juan ay kamukhang-kamukha ni Pedro. Okay? Hindi na natin ma-distinguish kung sino ba talaga sila. Kaya tayo may mga kanya-kanyang karakteristik kasi ikaw yan. Meron kang sariling ikaw. Okay? So, you cannot copy the other characteristic of the other persons. Okay? So, mas maganda ng iba-iba yung characteristic natin, but our heart is iisa. So, I hope na may natutunan kayo sa lesson natin ngayon. Therefore, God bless to everyone and enjoy your day.